of the Agro Marketing Authority Savusavu processing facility today in Savusavu. Last, I would like to acknowledge our contractors.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bulavinaka to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasant day in Savusavu. Ratu, it's a pleasure to be here in your venue. Ladies and gentlemen, last year I spoke in Parliament and also I gave a public lecture at Fiji National University's Agriculture College about what we want to do with agriculture. And I said that in those various forums that we want agriculture to take its rightful place in Fiji's economy. Agriculture is a sector which is within our control. Agriculture is a sector which has enormous potential for Fiji's growth and development. And agriculture is a sector which can provide a stable source of income, both local as well as foreign exchange for the Fijian economy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have for so long undervalued agriculture sector and its contribution. Also, we haven't realized the full potential of agriculture sector towards Fiji's economy. In fact, from my estimate, we are only achieving at the moment about 20% of the full potential of Fiji's agriculture sector. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at last year's data, we had fresh produce export from Fiji of about $50 million. And our aim is to double that by middle of next year. And we want to take the fresh produce sector to about 200 million in about 3 years' time. Ladies and gentlemen, for that, we want agriculture to be treated as a business. The agriculture growth model that we are proposing, that we are promoting, is for market to provide signal to farmers to grow, to incentivize market to incentivize farmers to grow. Not the other way around, where we incentivize farmers by giving them subsidies or grants. That's not sustainable. The sustainable model for agriculture growth and development is where we leverage the farmers with respect to infrastructure, technical support. And with that, farmers then take over. We then provide them with assistance package, and then we'll take the farmer to the development bank for financial support. Agriculture ministry should not be seen to bankroll farmers. That's not the job of agriculture ministry. That's the job of a financial sector, financial institution. And that is precisely why Fiji Development Bank was established, is to assist farmers, to provide them with the financial support so that farmers can expand. Ladies and gentlemen, I said that the model we are proposing is a model of commercial agriculture, where we want farmers we will provide them with the support, we will provide them with the leverage, and then we want farmers to create surplus. And that surplus, part of it they save, part of it they use it for their own household, family support, and part of it they reinvest. And that is how households expand, that is how villages expand, that is how regions expand, that is how countries expand. No country in this world has grown without creating surplus. The countries which were having a different model have decided that that was not sustainable. Therefore, they have now started to promote a commercial model where they are incentivizing members of the private sector to own businesses, create surplus, and own them and reinvest. So when individual micro units, whether it's a farmer, whether it's a shopkeeper, whether it's a manufacturer, when they create surplus, they must be allowed to own that surplus. And then what they will do is they will hive out part of the surplus for their personal use, hive out the other part for their family, for their savings, and the remaining they will reinvest. That's how economy expands, because you keep on reinvesting and keep on expanding. And that's how countries expand. So that model, that is the model we want agriculture to, for agriculture to take forward. And in that model, there's one thing that farmers are concerned about. When they grow, the only concern, major concern to the farmer is whether they will be able to sell off their product, whether they will be able to, sell off 100% of the produce and get the income. And that is a legitimate and a major concern, because if you look at crops, 3-month crop, 6 months crop, 1-year crop, there are 3-year crops like yangona, etc. Livestock, probably longer period. Entire farmers' resources, energy, and dreams are tied up in that. Whether it's a rice crop, whether it's yangona, the entire family dreams are tied up in that. And then if at the end of the crop period or livestock period, they are not able to sell that and get a fair return, then the entire dreams will be crushed. It is in this regard that government has decided to really work very closely, assist, support Agro Marketing Authority, that we will work hand in hand together with the Agro Marketing Authority to ensure that we provide farmers the market. We will take the entire market to the farmer, and we want to tell the farmer that you produce. You treat yourself as a business person. You make the right decisions, what input to use, how much input to use, what kind of crop or what kind of livestock you want to get into, how much to produce, what season, when to grow. With our technical support, our technical advice, we got experts in Ministry of Agriculture. Leave the market part to us. And that is primarily why Agro Marketing Authority is here. And today, you see, we are here to formally commission this processing shed, because this is the place where we'll get the produce and process it from a product into a commodity or from a product into a refined product. I was talking to CEO and his managers. I said that IMA brand must be there. And for IMA brand, quality is very important. And for quality, these kinds of processing sheds are very important, very critical. We want to ensure that our product is second to none, whether it's kava, whether it's dalo, whether it's cassava. We want to ensure that if someone picks up an IMA product, he or she must be guaranteed that this is of high grade, this is top quality. So there are some products which are in the market at the moment. We are getting it back. We want to ensure that we have the best product so that IMA branding is synonymous with quality. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the reasons why this processing shed is here, is that if we want to bring in kava or dalo or cassava, etc., we will wash it, we will clean it up here, etc. If there needs to be additional value adding, that will be done, and so that we can take it to the market, whether it's local market or export market. We want to ensure that with slight additional value adding or additional work, we can take the product into a higher valued market. Ladies and gentlemen, with this regard, I want to assure you that all farmers in Fiji, we will give you a list of crops that you need to grow. For that particular crop, we will buy all your produce. That's the message I want to give today, is that we have incentivized our agriculture, agro marketing staff, the managers. They're all tuned up, they're all geared up, they're all energized. We are developing various pickup points in the Western Division from Reki to Singatoka. Singatoka already had a pick and drop place, but we are now opening one in Nendi, Lutoka, Ba, and Reki. So we're going to serve the farmers there. Again, they must grow the crop and the variety, because the variety is also very important. For example, yam, there are certain varieties that are preferred in the export market. For example, cassava, we are now going big time into growing Benga yellow cassava, because there's huge demand in Australia. In Australia, we've got Fijians who are consuming cassava, and also a large, sizable proportion, probably larger number of proportion from Indonesia. And these Indonesians, they prefer yellow cassava, frozen yellow cassava, which when you defrost and cook it is slightly tough and nice to eat. So we are now, we have tested the yellow cassava from Benga. We sent the sample to Australia, and they prefer that. So we are going to give out the planting material to here Northern Division as well. You can grow it. We will buy it off you. We will buy all your cassava. We'll buy all your yams. We'll buy all your yangona. We'll buy all your dalo. We'll buy all your doruka. We'll buy all your pulses. There are a few other crops which we are buying from the Western Division, which may not be possible to take it here because it's perishable in nature. But for Northern Division, these are the crops I'm saying they will buy any amount you grow. Don't worry about market. So with these words, I want to thank you all for coming. It's my pleasure to formally commission the opening of this processing shed here. I want to thank all our EMA staff in Northern Division. I want to tell you that good days are coming, and I want to ask you, if there's anything I have to ask you, is that I want you to be totally at the service of our farmers, because we are promising them that, look, we will provide you market, but we want the farmers to grow. In national interest, agriculture must expand and grow in national interest. And when the national interest is served, then the individual micro-interest, individual province interest, individual villages interest, individual households interest will be met. But if you're not able to serve the national interest, then it will be difficult to meet the aspirations of lower level area, village or tikina or province or households. So with these words, it's my pleasure to formally commission the opening of this processing shed, and thank you all for coming. Naka.